is it important that our robots are easy to use? Well, for selfish reasons, it means that our customers get on the phone or the email to us way less. If it's as easy to use as one of these things, then our customers don't need support. They can do it themselves. Plus, it's so depressing when you go into a laboratory and there's a box in the corner with dust on it. So depressing. And you ask them, what is that box in the corner with dust on it? And they're like, well, it's this really cool instrument. But since Sally left, no one's known how to use it. And that really depresses me. So that's why it's important to me and Singing Instruments. Pixel, 90% of the functionality of Pixel can be picked up in 10 minutes or less. It really is as easy to use as one of these. And anytime there's a tiny pain point or someone frowns, we pick up on it and change something so we don't see that pain point or frown anymore. And through that kind of process of iteration and making that user journey as smooth as possible, it's the culmination of all that awesomeness that makes it really easy to use. What are the biggest challenges in creating easy to use instruments? Well, the user experience of the software is really, really important. And you can get that right through iteration by watching people use the software. It's much harder to get those hands-on elements right. It's a real black art to make things feel nice to use. It's about that stickiness, the juice of taking a thing out and it just feeling right. It's very hard to quantify. So the best thing to do is just through iteration and asking people, how does that feel? Does that feel nice? Watching people use something and iterating. So how do we make easy to use equipment whilst avoiding scope creep and unnecessary bulk? It's a good question. It's really important that developers, whether they're the software developers or the hardware developers, have a feedback loop with the types of people who are going to eventually use these machines, if not the actual people who are using these machines in anger. So we set up those physical person-to-person connection, and the software developers or the hardware developers watch people in a real lab using the equipment. And if there are any pain points or any parts of that user journey that don't flow really smoothly, we're on it. Every single one of our products is developed with customers in the loop. It's really important. So, for example, Pixel was developed in collaboration with Matthew Chang at the Chang Lab at National University of Singapore. We watched them using the equipment. We watched them initially struggling with the software, and we iterated until they were super comfortable with it. Oh my gosh, what is the hidden cost of robots that are gathering dust in the corner of the lab? Huge hidden cost. Obviously you've got the cost of that massive capital expenditure in the first place. And robots can cost, upwards of $100,000. So it's a huge expense gathering dust. If they're not approachable and they're not usable by everybody in the lab, you're reliant on one single technician, then there's a massive cost to the research group. If you don't have that resilience and that person who knows how to use the instrument leaves, then there's a huge cost associated with that. Retraining, or again, you've got a big CapEx white box in the middle of the room gathering dust. More and more of our customers want to do more with less. They want to program their scientific workflows from the comfort of their own home or an office, and they want science to happen overnight, right? And to get that to happen, one lab instrument has got to talk to another lab instrument. And usually that involves an integration provider to set that and orchestrate that up. What we can do is make really, really nice open APIs, interfaces, which make it easy for those integration providers to hook our gear up with robotics. Really important that it's a solid API and it's really well documented. Start simple. Start small and iterate. If you want to automate everything, don't try and automate everything at once. It's an absolute minefield. So start with what you know, start small, and then iterate as you learn. For any user interactions on any of our equipment, the instructions just come up on the screen. It walks you through step by step exactly how to do it. So you don't need to trawl through a user manual. You don't need a dedicated technician. If you can follow instructions, pictorial instructions, you'll be fine.